What I started doing was, when I was 297, I thought about, my God, man, like this could be my life. And I thought, okay, what does heaven look like? I don't know. No one does, I imagine. So I was like, okay, I imagine that there's a big long line and you got judgment and you're God. Let's say you're God and I'm just David Goggins. And right now I'm a 300-pound man. Ecolab guy, I'm 71 years old. This is what I'm thinking at 24 years old, okay? I'm dead, I'm in heaven, you're God. You pull the paper down, it says David Goggins. I'm reading it. And I'm looking at it, and it has my name, but on this paper, it says everything about you. Everything, because God knows all. And I'm looking at it, and I'm seeing 185 pounds, Navy SEAL, changed people's lives, all these amazing things. Public speaker, blah, 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 motivational, all the best-selling book. I look at God and say, God, the name is right, but what's on here is not me. He goes, it should have been you. This was the life that you were supposed to live, but you didn't try. So this is the life that you have.
I talked to a group of people the other day, and I said, if I gave you 100% certain that you can achieve whatever you want to, would you do it? Everybody raised their hand. So what gets people? It's the uncertainty. What we do is we love to bury half of ourselves away. All the bad parts. We bury them in the attic. We bury them in the cellar. We bury them in the dungeon of our mind. We're afraid to go in there and figure the very things that we're afraid of. So we leave it alone. See, those places are scary. There's cobwebs. There's spiders. It's dark up there. So we don't go up there to figure it out. So we're always about 30, 40, 50% of ourselves. So what does that say about you? If you're not succeeding, and you're not achieving, it's because you're afraid to go in that dark place to find yourself. Stay hard.
How to live in happy. That just comes naturally to us. Happy moments, but the dark times, man, you can't get there unless you put yourself there. Life will take you there. But when you get into those dark moments, that's why people, how are you able, man, I couldn't read and write till I was a junior in high school. How are you able to write like this, man? I go to such places in my mind and I study the darkness. Like, it's not just physical. When I was growing up, I saw my mom getting beaten, I got beat. And I was some stuttering little kid in an all-white school and I'm on stage and I gotta say one line. The only way we're gonna get through this is if we study it. So every time I'm in a dark moment and life's f***ed up around me, whether it be physical or just life, I'm like, okay, let's come out of this motherfucker genius. You know, I studied the black matter. There's a lot of cookie cutter shit out here in this world. Oh, discipline, wake up early, take a cold shower. It's not. But what they don't teach you within the cookie cutter is like our minds are like a garage. And the garage, if you open a garage that's all cluttered up, it's all f***ed up, you can't put your car in there. But if you organize that garage and you put everything in its rightful spot, you can put that car in there, you can put two cars in there, you can put bikes in there. And that's like with the mind. Where I had this internal conversation with myself a lot. And I knew I had to make a stand. Because I knew where I was going. I knew where this road led that I was on. Mm-hmm. And I was afraid. Mm-hmm. I was afraid to make that stand. So this process was going on a long time in my mind. Mm-hmm. You know, I was afraid of this, afraid of that, afraid of this, afraid of that. I knew I had to face this, man. But through facing a lot of this stuff, that's what started happening to me. Through facing it, I started getting more and more courage. So when I overcame the water, more courage. Right. When I overcame the fear of myself, the fear of failure, the fear of being judged, the fear of kind of like, so in this process, I went from David Goggins, I started forming a guy named Goggins. Mm-hmm. I had to really I realized I had to reinvent a whole nother human being within myself, because who I am wasn't going to make it. This guy is not going to cut it. Mm-hmm. So I had to be a guy who can take any kind of pain, any kind of suffering, any kind of torture, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I had to have the people who, I had to visualize everybody that called me get to be in a room of people like this.
I had to make up these things in my mind, the things I had to overcome. And I started callousing my mind through a process, and it basically started with working out. It started with working out. I started with doing, like, if it started raining outside, for instance, my mind would say, yeah, man, I don't want to go run. If it was 3 o'clock in the morning, it started raining outside, my mind said, you gotta go
Get up and go run.
You have to, because I was fighting this other person. A lot of us out here are pushing real hard, but we're afraid to go to that dark side. In your mind, when you push real hard, you have this door in your mind, and a lot of us don't want to open that door. Once you open that door, you're in a tunnel. It's a dark ass tunnel, and you can't see shit. But there's one thing about being in dark places. If you have the courage to stay in there long enough, your eyes will start to adjust to the darkness. Your body and mind will always adjust to more suffering, to more pain. If you want to push harder, know this. Your mind quits way before your body does. So you have to be willing to go way into that darkness and find more of yourself. Stay hard.
So when I was in 6th grade, we had a play, and I used to stutter real bad, man. I mean, like, I couldn't say a word without just going off on my stuttering, man. So whenever I'm in front of people, I tell them that. I literally walked off a stage because I couldn't get the damn, I had one line to say in 6th grade, one line. And I literally walked off stage because I couldn't say the line. So I get in front of these people and I speak for an hour and a half. And I look at them before I start speaking and I say, my God, this is pretty amazing.